kind of want to just give you guys a backstory. This is Project Gramps. About a year ago, me and Dad did some work with a guy. Not going to mention anything about the guy's character, but he's a pretty shitty ass dude. He was going to send his car to a junkyard. This was his parts car for a blue 63 Plymouth Valiant. I don't need a new car. I never did need another project, but we worked out a deal with doing the work on the car, and my cut was this car. Now, originally Project Gramps was going to be two-door swapped and V8 swapped, but my grandpa came over and he kind of fell in love with the car. So I decided at that point that to put Project Gramps back together all original, well, not numbers matching. I do have a numbers matching 1963 block that came with this car. The guy he was so stupid he let it sit out on his back patio and get rusty and crusty and nasty. But that's besides the point. So the car is solid. It's got a little bit of rust in the quarters, stuff like that, but we're building this to give to my grandfather. One of my heroes, one of my close friends, like Dad. And that's what, this is part one of a series on this car. We're going to paint it sublime green, get rid of that shitty rattle can paint job that he did. Alright, you guys, we're going to hop into it right here. This is part one. No, we're not getting it running and driving, so don't expect that, you guys. See you guys in the next one. Hopefully you enjoy. Alrighty, you guys, it's time. The time I've kind of been waiting for, look forward to doing. We're going to customize Gramps' valve covers. Project Gramps, for my Gramps, you know what I mean? My grandpa, for those that don't know, was an airborne engineer, 101st Airborne. Gramps, because that's what the car's called. So yeah, let's get this valve cover put together like that. Alrighty, you guys, this is for my Mopar brethren out there that love their Mopars, but I couldn't find it on this. I had lost this one. Thankfully, I found it the other day when I was cleaning the yard. Anyways, you guys, so this is from an 82 slant 6, which is what that engine is. This is from a 63. Now, the noticeable difference are, look here, if I spin this one around, look at the overall shape. They're shaped totally different. So if I would have tried to use this one, it would have not worked. But look how this is shaped like this. This is more kind of like a wedge. But yeah, just some neat facts. I couldn't find nothing on that. So they're different throughout the years. They must have changed. So I know in 73 they changed to more like a, it looks like this, except it has like a biscuit mount made into it right about here. So yeah, nice to know those things. Alrighty, you guys, so distributor's in, oil pump's in, motor mounts are in. Find out if I have them in the right spot or not. Right now I'm gonna put a chain here, which is your lift points on slant 6. These two dowels here. Lift this, get this off this cherry picker, get the flex plate on the back of the engine, then create a transmission tire, transmission mounted up, and stuff it in this car. That way it's out of the way. Then I'll put the oil pan, the valve cover on, and do the intake and exhaust manifolds once in the car. So yeah, it's coming together, you guys, slowly but surely. Alright, you guys, so we're getting ready to clean this up and paint this for Project Gramps. I'm gonna paint it red, Chrysler red. So winning. And just like that, went from crappy to cool. So I went from that ugly ass silver, which they tried to make the aluminum, make it look like aluminum, I guess, to this color here, which is Chrysler red, which is the color I'm going with. Chrysler red. Chrysler red, and it'll be black. This is gonna be black. Timing cover's black, oil pan's black, block's red. That's gonna be red with the black balancer. You gotta remove this bolt here, which is snapped off in there, but I think a torch heating this outside up, we should be able to extract that. I don't have the linkage or the armature to work this, so we're going to just wire it open because this car will not be driven. I think it's for like cold weather driving, but this car won't be driven in cold weather, so yeah. Project Gramps is coming together because I officially got its timing chain, so we should be able to slam this thing together. Stay tuned for more. And if you're new, like and subscribe. Winning. Alrighty, you guys. Hope you guys are enjoying this so far. So what we're doing here is we're getting ready to put the transmission onto this 1982 slant 6 here. Now, this is a 1982 225 that I bought off a good friend of mine. It's a good engine. The other one, the dumbass that had this car prior to us, left the engine, the transmission, all that shit, the crank, all out in the weather. And anybody knows anything about engine parts knows they can't get wet. They tend to rust, and he destroyed the crank. The crank needs turned down, and I wasn't going to spend the money on this right now to put that period correct 1963 slant 6 in here. So this is a 1982, 83, 84, something like that, slant 6, 225. It does have the original 904 or 727. I can't remember what came in these factory. As you guys can see, we got lots of projects laying around, so if you guys want, like and subscribe. That Malibu is going to be coming up. That's an 82 Malibu. That will be coming up this winter sometime. We got a 454 that's bored 40 over. Going to go in that. There's the transmission right there. Me and Dad had some problems because we couldn't find the bell housing bolts for this particular setup. So it was kind of a bear. So we had to go find bell housing bolts. You guys can see under the hood. The underhood's been painted. I hate when people paint underhoods on Chrysler products, like cars especially. Paint them black. Like Chrysler products, for those of you that don't know, would have came body color. That means whatever color your outside was, the underhood was the same color. Where a GM would have had your outside, for instance, be blue, the underhood would have been black. It was just the way GM did things. But Chrysler, in my opinion, had things on lock. So here we are trying to line up the transmission to that slant 6 that's on that cherry picker. If you guys can see that chain, there is 2 points on every slant 6 in the top of the head. That is your lift points for a slant 6. I didn't know that till recently, but that's how it is. I'm kind of confused right now with putting this on because the way the starter sits on the transmission, I'm not used to it being like, when it was on there, it just looked weird. But we got it on there. Me and Dad fought it, and we got it on there. So this car, for those you don't know or haven't, or maybe just now clicking in because this will be a premiere. It's called Project Gramps because I'm giving it to my grandfather. What I was going to do with this car, this guy was going to send it to the junkyard after it went back to Indianapolis. He didn't want it no more, or couldn't have it. I don't know how it was going to work. So I was like, these, for those of you that don't know, the 63, I don't know about 64, but 63 Plymouth Valiants share the same roof line. It's kind of like a 57 Chevy. It shares the same roof line as a two-door. So really all you need is two-door doors, post doors, and you could do this. So I was going to take this car. I wasn't even going to put the slant 6 and shit back in this. I was going to small block prime Magnum V8 it, two-door swap it, and then try selling it. Well, my grandfather came over for something when we were working on both these cars, and we were talking, he kind of fell in love with the idea of this push button, and he supposedly remember somebody had one of these back in the day, a push button transmission from a Chrysler, and I forgot what it was, New York or something like that. And he kind of fell in love with it. So I was like, you know what? My grandfather has been a big part of my life, my whole childhood, and even to now. He's one of my closest friends, and it's pretty cool when you can call your dad and your grandpa your friends. But it's my way to get back to him. Because for those of you who don't know, my grandfather, he's technically my step-grandfather. But he's my grandfather. I don't consider him not, blood. He's been there throughout my whole childhood. And when he hypnotized me, he didn't have to be my grandpa, but he chose to take me underneath his wing and teach me pretty much everything I know about things. And he's my best friend, and sorry, getting choked up a little bit here. Couldn't imagine my life without him. So this is my way to pay back to him. And Grandpa, if you're seeing this, I love you, man. But yeah, he was there for me when my own blood wasn't, and that's what matters. Anybody that tells you blood makes you family, they're full of shit. Loyalty makes you family. People that are there for you when you're down and out, when you need somebody, that's family. But as you can see, we're trying to line this thing up, and we got it on there. Now, the bitch of it is, these tires are old and they lose pressure. I'm gonna have to put new tires on this before I take it to Grandpa. I got a date in mind that I want this car done by. Hopefully I can get it there. I'm not gonna say it like right now because I don't know if my grandpa still watches these or not. He used to, so I don't want to give the date away of when I want to deliver it to him. But this car is you're gonna see over the next probably 2 or 3 months get knocked out because I want to get it to him. I don't care about bumpers. The majority of the trim is not going to be there. I'm going to bond over the holes because this car, in my opinion, had way too much trim on it. And I know that's controversial to some people, but we're going to just Bondo fill the side holes that used to be trimmed on the side, because for one, I don't have all the trim for this car, but eventually I might want to put trim on the side so we can just knock the Bondo out at that point. It will have the 2 spheres that run down the back of the trunk, and the parts say Valiant, the grill. I'll eventually have to get bumpers for it, but we're not worried about that. We just need to get the Grandpa before Grandpa kicks the bucket, or he can't drive no more. Again, this car probably won't be driven in the winter, because it probably won't be driven very much at all. It probably spend most of the time sitting, like it's done here for the past 1.5 years, 2 years. But I would highly recommend, if you're doing this, not to stand on the side that Dad's on, because when you got a heavy engine like this, especially at Chrysler, they're known to tip. We had a small block Chevy for a Model T that we did, and when pulling that engine, we were lifting it into the bed of the truck in a field, and you guys see that video on this channel too, and it tipped over on me, completely came over, and thankfully I wasn't hurt. I tried to hold up the cherry picker when it started to fall, and I was like, and then once I went to pull my arm, I was like, no, we can't do that. I'm not that strong. I'm not Hercules. So right now we're just trying to move the car back, forth, because you're not working on concrete, you're working in dirt, actual dirt. There's no gravel, just dirt. So you got to move the car. You can't move a cherry picker in gravel or dirt, really. It's cherry pickers aren't designed to roll and stuff like that. So your only choice is to move the vehicle. Because the vehicle will roll, the cherry picker won't. Keep that in mind. You can do this stuff in dirt fields and stuff like that. You just be mindful. So yeah, you guys are perched up on Dad's CUDA on Dad's Cougar. So yeah, definitely stick around. And before anybody says anything, no, Sublime Green wasn't a color in 1964. This color was a really pretty green, but I had the Sublime laying around because I had bought single stage Sublime for the Dart, and then the guy had base clear on the shelf that had been sitting since 2021, so I was like, you know what, I'll buy base clear. It'll be a better finish, last longer. Project Gramps will get Sublime Green, so eventually there'll be 2 Chrysler Sublime Green cars in my fleet of junk that you guys are seeing. Yes, that is a pool with weeds because I haven't put the liner in yet. Alrighty guys, so here's the end. I will go out here in the next few minutes, so it'll be the next clip for you guys, and show you guys the engine installed. Now, I still have to get the parts car off my buddy, who he has a 64 Valiant, Dart, 4-door, really rough car, but it has the parts that we need, and the parts that are really expensive. The drive shaft, the tranny cross member, and any other odds and ends I can scavenge off of it for this car. Otherwise, that car will either probably be, maybe somebody might want to make a project out of it. I think it's too far gone, so it'll probably end up in the junkyard. With that being said, hopefully you guys are consider subscribing, because a lot of you guys aren't subscribed. Subscribe. And I'll see you guys here in a minute for our outro and to show you guys the engine in the car. See you guys in a minute. Alrighty, you guys. So, next clip you guys are going to see the engine. I'm going to give you guys some updates. And for the new people here, again, subscribe. I'm going to show you guys some of the cars we have that's coming up soon on the channel. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Alrighty, you guys. So here is the end of the video. Hopefully you guys have liked this video. Consider giving us a subscription. We're an up-and-coming YouTube channel. We have tons of cool shit. I'll show you some of the cool shit that we got that's coming up after we show you this glorious 225. Now this all needs cleaned. It is dirty from sitting here. I have to get another airborne sticker because that one rubbed off, but here it is in its gloriness. Now this, I have 2 other vehicles before I can get this one in the shop. All this is waiting on is the parts car, which I have to go buy. Good buddy of mine's giving me a deal on it, and the paint. So show you guys some other stuff we have laying around here. We have this glorious hunk of shit car, whatever you want to call it. This is Dad's. This is a real deal 69 GS California, sitting in the weeds. I know. I have everything for this car. It's literally just getting the time to get it in there. We have new suspension, new front. It's getting disc brakes up front, tubular A-arms, tubular rear control arms. It's gonna get a 400 Pontiac for now. The original transmission. Dad does have all the numbers matching Buick, which will go back in this eventually. It is a bench seat car and interior stripped. Me and Dad have put new floors in it, which are getting rusty. All the patchwork's done here. New trunk. This is coming up really soon, so stay tuned for that. We have, that's mine. That is an 80, I can't remember. It's pre-83 because 83, I don't think they made a two-door. This is a real deal 1980s G-body Malibu, factory posi, factory tack, factory bucket seat console, 350 car, air conditioning, bunch of cool stuff. That I have actually killed that car by letting it sit there in the weeds, and I am not proud of it, but I picked it up for 500 bucks back when COVID was a big thing. So next is this beauty right here sitting neglected. So this is a 1967 Ford Mustang coupe. This car, I have everything but 3 main components for this car. I'll show you guys the engine. I actually have the transmission that goes in this car. The core support we're replacing, the inner fenders, and some trunk pieces. We have brand new quarters, brand new one-piece floor, brand new frame rails, which are currently on top of that car that I got from Desert Valley Auto in Arizona. This car I picked up for 1,200 bucks. Actually, the guy that I'm buying Project Gramps' parts car for had this car, and him and his grandson were going to do it. Too rough for them. I picked it up for 1,200. Sold the engine for I think 700, 800, 900 bucks roughly. So roughly, if I do my mathematicals correct, I have 300 bucks in that car. You can't pick up a rusty shell for 300 bucks anymore. Here's the engine transmission that's going in it right here. This is was an 87, 88 Ford Thunderbird 302 AOD. That's gonna be stuffed in there. I want to keep it fuel injected if I can. Yes, the yard's a mess. This, as you guys know, most of our cars get turned into a workbench. This is actually all parts I got to box up because these are Thunderbird parts. I sell parts on eBay for money. That's what I do for a living. Underneath this tarp though is a Pontiac, of course. Underneath this tarp is a real 1965 Pontiac Le Mans Sport Coupe. Other than bucket seat console, factory 326. It does have a period correct 1965 326. I don't think it's factory. This belonged to my uncle who passed away from lung cancer or throat cancer. I can't remember his longer throat. He traded a Corvette for this and a Catalina. I had bought the Catalina years ago, sold it, got this for 300 bucks because his grandson needed money. So I picked it up, and eventually I'm gonna get to that hopefully next winter. All it really needs is an engine, which when Dad gets that Buick built, that 400 Pontiac will go in this. It needs a trunk pan, trunk braces, and a front floor pan. But I do have the bucket seats, the console, the hard to find parts. Those of you that don't know, I'm gonna say this again. Pontiac never made a big block or a small block. For those of you that think Pontiac made a big block, you're wrong. Pontiac never made a big block or a small block, as deck heights are all the same except for the 301. It is your oddball, and nobody wants a 301. This is the other one that we have. I'll show you guys some more out front. This is a 1987 Mercury Cougar, I think 25th anniversary edition, 5.0, but it has the typical Midwest shock tower rust. It does have this really nasty looking Thunder turbo coupe, whatever the fuck hood. Because the Thunderbird and the Cougar share the same hood. Now, this is a one owner car. We bought it from their owner. 20th edition. My buddy Fasting89 here on YouTube, check him out. He's supposedly going to be sending us some frame rails for this soon, and I'll get down the road. I'll bring you guys back when we're out front, because I have more out front. That's what I'm saying. Stay tuned, subscribe, lots of shit coming up. If you want to see classic cars get put back on the road, subscribe now. All right, now we're up to the front yard of death. This is Dad's truck. This is a 92 Chevy, short bed, 4-wheel drive. Does have a 5.3 L in it now. This is mine. I picked this up 3-4 months ago. You guys can see this on the channel for 300 bucks. Those of you don't know, short bed Chevy trucks, especially OBSs, are fetching a pretty penny now. Personally, it's gonna piss a lot of people off. Sorry for this, just my opinion. These trucks look better than square bodies. Just my opinion. I don't know if that's because even today you see more of these than you do square bodies on the road. So this is like a 94, 95, 96 Chevy truck. I'm gonna keep it all original. That is a LS1 intake for a Camaro. Bunch of the parts in there. So I guess you guys know what we're going with. This is a 5.3 LS. Probably cajillion miles. Actually belonged to my neighbor over there. I bought a truck off of him. This was in it. Ran. Lifter tick though, but we got a cam to solve that. That is a 95, 94 two-wheel drive 4L60E. It's going behind that. So that's the power plant for this. This is on the back burner until I can get other things caught up, and then we can get on this. It is going to have that bed liner yanked out. It does have a, let's see if I can get you guys underneath there to see it. It does have a fuel cell right now. So next, Dad's Avalanche. No, I'm just kidding. That's not a project. It's not even cool. So main things is Dad works on four-wheelers. So if you guys like four-wheeler stuff, subscribe. I post a small amount of content on that. This right here is a customer truck. It is a 76, I believe. I don't know. 75, 76, something like that. First gen Dodge truck, short bed, two-wheel drive, 318 V8 that's supposedly built to the hilt. So we've been building this for a long time for the guy because his cab was trash. I had to get another cab. He bought the wrong fenders. I actually purchased these for him because I'll show you guys why on the other side when you guys can get a good look at it. But you want to see this truck come together? This is a one-owner truck. His dad bought it brand new. Actually worked at the Chrysler plant in Indianapolis. So let me show you guys why those fenders. So first gen Dodges, all these 76 to 94, and I got a critique about this, but roughly the same cabs, same trucks. Beds are different, cabs are a little different, and this bulkhead here, where that is, that area right there, it's really the only differences. But this body line here is not prevalent on all of them, and that body line on these early trucks carry into the fenders. So if you have that bed and later fenders, to me it throws the truck off. So these early trucks share this bed. You can go back on a video when we were in Arizona. I show all the different things, but I forgot to mention that bulkhead and the AC stuff. Who gives a shit, really? You can make it shit work. Next, this is my pride, joy. If you guys haven't noticed already, I'm a pretty big Mopar guy. This is my 1974 Dodge Charger Rally, one of 208 built. It is I did the build sheet. It is a factory 360 car. Let me set you guys down. Now, we've had some problems with the original heads that were on this. This engine, again, is a 440. It is out of a 76 Chrysler New Yorker that I bought these beautiful aluminum heads for, that I'm going to be installing on this as soon as I get the money for valves, because those things are expensive. Mopar, pay to play. But anyways, this car's pretty rare. Is it like Institute rare? No. So it is a legacy console car. It's factory triple black, means black interior, black exterior, black roof, black bottom. Some people get this misconception that triple black has to do with the underside of the car, or triple anything. It has to do with the underside of the car. Well, Chrysler, it didn't matter if it was this or what. Unless your car was undercoated, they got paint underneath. So being triple just means the interior is one color. The bottom section is one color, the top is one section. But what makes this a triple black car is this was actually a factory vinyl top car, which is kind of neat. Yes, Scat Pack. Even though Scat Pack wasn't a thing. But yeah, it's not factory rear wing. It was factory dual exhaust, but they changed that tail panel. So yeah, okay. Last car, and we're gonna end the video here. This is my first Mopar. So I've owned this, a Dodge truck, Charger, a Valiant, which we still have, 4 Mopars so far. This is my first one. I got this when I was roughly 16, 17, back in 2016, 2017. I might have been 18. I was a teenager. This car is a 1973, not Plymouth Duster, Dodge Dart Sport, which, fuck it, let's call it for what it is. That is a Plymouth Duster body. It just has Dart front sheet metal. So, history lesson for you guys, for those still watching, I appreciate it. This car would have been your first year for this body style of car. 72, I think, they still had the Demon. I think 71, 72 used to have the Demon. This is what the Demon turned into. So they had to drop the Demon name because Christian groups and stuff like that were getting pissed off because it said Demon. I know, 70s, weird times. But this car has no thrills. This car was a factory slant 6 car, slant 6 bench seat, 3 on the tree. Now it is a very crusty, dirty 360 Magnum. I love the Magnum V8s. Honestly, if you're gonna make killer power, pick one of these. These things, you get so much more power than an LA starting point. You get a roller cam, you get in my opinion, better heads. But I built this, has a huge cam in it, bunch of knick-knack stuff, and I'm about to get stung by a bee. But yeah, so that's the stuff we got around here. This car, again, this is actually a Texas car. I actually have a Texas title for this thing. These aren't Mopar seats. Again, it was a factory bench seat, so no seat, no console stuff. I do have a console, seat brackets, all that stuff. I have to make these seats work. These seats are out of the Camaro. But yeah, that's what we have here. Lots of stuff to come up on the channel, lots of builds. See, a lot of you guys aren't subscribed. We actually have a Ford, which I'm not going to walk in there and show you guys right now, that we are painting for a guy, for my buddy Rico on here. He watches these videos. Rico, Dad's got your bed pretty much out of the way, and later tonight I'm going to work on your doors and stuff like that. But anyways, 76, check out some of our videos. Remember, like and subscribe. My name's Austin. My dad's name's Jack. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.